Regular followers of this channel will have noticed that there was a time gap where I was missing in action for a day or two. Okay? The reason why I was missing is interesting. I had to verify for myself information that I was getting from my people on the ground because I wanted to be very sure. Now, these are areas of supposedly Jubilee control, areas like the Rift Valley, and especially that area where there is a very huge question mark. Well, not anymore after my visit, but as far as most people are concerned, Meru, big question mark. Okay? Now, as we proceed with this recording, I'm going to reveal you what has happened in Meru, and it's just shocking. A vast majority of Meru is NASA. That is the latest. That is verified by me personally. Yeah. I trust my people on the ground. They've never given me information that's false. But there's the additional verification by myself. Meru is NASA. Now, Rift Valley is where all the action is. Okay? The dust has not yet settled, but it is clear to see which direction the votes are headed. That is clear. At least it was to me. Okay? Now, this completely changes the presidential vote standing. In fact, it changes it so dramatically that today I can be able to tell you who will win the election 2017 without doubt. Now, let me start with Meru. Meru has been Jubilee. In fact, Jubilee inherited Meru from the former president Mwai Kibaki, because Meru always voted for Mwai Kibaki almost to a man. Yeah, from the days when Mwai Kibaki was in the opposition to the days when Mwai Kibaki was president, both the times he stood for the presidency, Meru voted very emphatically for Mwai Kibaki. Yeah, so when Jubilee took over, I think the mistake that a lot of Jubilee handlers made was to assume that it is just business as usual, transfer votes from one Mwai Kibaki to Uhuru Kenyatta. Okay, now things have gone terribly wrong in 2017, and of course one of the major bones of contention, one of the major issues, is the Mira business. Now, this is one of the unfortunate things about politics. I believe politics all over the world, whereby people always want a scapegoat. They always want somebody to blame. Now, it is not Jubilee's fault that the UK placed a ban on Mira. It's not Jubilee's fault. Jubilee had nothing whatsoever to do with it. Okay, but this is the catalyst which has angered the Meru, and the anger has turned towards Jubilee. Okay, now what people on the ground are saying is that Jubilee is a government of false promises. They'll not tell you about the Mira. They'll tell you Jubilee is a government of false promises. Now, the reason being, when the Mira business went down, the Meru community were given firm promises that the government would do something about it. I believe efforts have been made at a very high level, which have not borne any fruit. That is the reality, that's the truth. But on the ground, they're saying the government just gave them promises, then they went back to Nairobi and forgot about the whole thing. That's what people on the ground are saying. And they're saying that the government has not been able to be responsive, has not been responsive to their problems on the ground. The government has just been full of promises and very little action, etc., etc. Now, if you know nothing about the Ameru people, let me tell you one thing about them. They're very stubborn people. And once they've made up their minds, changing their minds is almost impossible. Okay? So that's the Ameru mind made up. I found quite some impressive pockets of Jubilee support, die-hard Jubilee support. But these pockets are very small, extremely small. I don't think they can even amount to 10%, let alone 20%. Okay? So that's the issue with the Meru. Now, the Rift Valley. Oh, the Rift Valley, the Rift Valley. I can see my time is up. Just click on the link at the top left-hand corner of your screen, and you'll be in part 2 of this recording, where we talk about the Rift Valley and the rest of this presidential polls analysis that, to me at least, was extremely shocking. See you there in a second.